Just really good effort against Vanderbilt. But, we talk a lot about hitting the reset button, letting that go at midnight, and turning our focus to the next one. I think that's something our team's done a really good job of, is being able to just move forward and try to be better today than we were yesterday. And we certainly have our hands full going to, Starkville. We know that's such a hard place to play. And, they have just so many different weapons. I think they're one of the most talented groups in the league. Obviously, it's going to be a challenge for us. They do a really good job of, rebounding the basketball and just have versatility throughout their roster, a lot of double-digit scores that can just really step up on any given night. So we know we're going to have to, again, on the road, the reason we've been successful is to defend and rebound. And it's going to be really important that we take that same mentality from our previous road games into Starkville.
Brittany, obviously playing heavy minutes isn't anything new for you. So what is important in terms of recovery, making sure everybody's at peak performance condition whenever the next game comes around?
I would say me just being consistent with my everyday routine. And Coach always talks about hydration and making sure your body is where it needs to be.
Coach, this 5-game road streak that you're on is another program first for this season. And what do you think has made your team perform so well in road games? You play a tough sport to play on the road, and your team has risen to the challenge. So what do you think is going into that?
I think it's a combination. Obviously, I think our experience, especially these two that are here with me, along with Meg, Jada, just the experience that we returned from our previous experience. But I think also, too, our preseason schedule, going on the road the way that we did into some hostile environments, being everyone's game of the year in the preseason. When you look to go into Southern Miss, you look going to Mercer, those are some hard places to play. So I just think that those are just two that I just mentioned. There were more. I just think it's important that our kids really understood, and from who their roommate is to pregame meal to everything we're doing the day before and the day of. We've gotten in a regular routine, had some success, and it's built some confidence. And so I think we're very confident in who we can be on the road away from home.
You guys have already faced 4 of the top 5 players in the SEC in field goal percentage. Is there anything that you've seen from those 4 players that you can maybe apply to Jessica Carter, or is it just a completely different piece altogether?
Well, I think, at the end of the day, one thing this team has done consistently, and a lot of that, too, I attribute to, our experience, but also I feel like our scout coaches do such a great job, of us putting a game plan together. Every game plan is specific to who we're playing from a defensive standpoint. And, again, our kids have done a good job of going out and executing that. From tendencies to how we want to guard, do you double, do you not double, where's it coming from, when's it coming? Just, I think we have our hands full in Starkville, obviously on the perimeter. Their addition of Smith with Jordan and Hayes. Oh, it's dynamic. So it's more than Jessica Carter. We're going to have a great team defensive day.
Coach, I understand Jessica Carter is a great offensive player, but when someone's so strong on defense as she is, with over 2 blocks a game, 7 rebounds, what goes into going against a strong individual defender?
Yeah, I think, at the end of the day, you have to play off 2 feet, make good decisions around the rim. I think one of the areas for our team right now that's going to be critical to our success is that, we got to have better play at the 5 spot. Starts on the defensive end and goes to the offensive end. The first half combined 20 minutes at our 5 spot. We didn't have a rebound. If we do that Sunday, we're going to have a hard day. So I think that we have to counter at the 5 spot, and it's going to come from being a group effort to be able to contain Carter. But I think the biggest thing is Jessica's successful because, her perimeter play is just so dynamic. They can shoot the 3, they can get to the rim. So it's going to just come down to great team defense. It's the energy on the ball that I really think that we have to understand can really affect, how our opponents defend. And, we didn't do a very good job of that last night. Washington had a field day. So we've got to play better at the 5 spot. Again, I'm not trying to be critical or call anybody out, but the numbers don't lie. The productivity doesn't lie. And I feel like we've gotten some things straight, on the perimeter. And we've just got to do a better job at the 5 spot.
teammates said last night that they want you to shoot the ball. Can you talk about how important it is that they have that belief in you whenever you're going to launch one from long range that's going to go down?
For sure, I think that's contagious, right? That feeling of no matter who's shooting the ball, whether it's Britt, Aaliyah, Carly, even. I mean, we put in the time every day to shoot the ball in games when the moments matter, and I think that confidence in each other is contagious and is something that we want to carry with us into February.
Coach, specifically with Jada, right? She's played, less minutes than she usually played the last few games, understanding that she did foul out against Auburn, but what goes into her potentially getting back on track, or what have you seen from her play that allows her to say, you know what, let's focus on this to improve the next game?
Yeah, I mean, just coming out and putting the work in, and she's trying to do that. I think the biggest thing with Jada is, she's been saddled with some foul trouble. And so if we can consistently keep her in the flow and she's more focused on, being able to play free instead of worry. And I think the foul troubles caused her to worry a little bit. But again, it's not anything I'm worried about. We need her and Ryan and, Gianna collectively at the 5 to win that position. It's kind of like lining up, across the way from an offensive and defensive line. Whoever wins the line of scrimmage, well, that's going to be a lot as you head into the stretch for us. Who's going to win the paint? And we've got to win it from a post play standpoint on the defensive end and also on the offensive end and stay out of foul trouble.